Okay. So you are about to transition into the real world. So how long was your very low calorie protocol?
I want to say 5.5, 6 weeks. Does that
Okay.
sound right?
How long was your
So
practice? We
I
did
went through
over a
one
month.
and a half vials of.
Okay. So we did over a month of practice. You've done 5 to 6 weeks
Yes,
of the very low calorie protocol, and you are finished. You are now
yes,
finished with the second phase, or what the internet would say is P3. And so this
yes,
session is for you and I to go over going into reality, right?
yeah.
Okay, so you were just saying, when we talked a couple weeks ago, you were almost done with the first week on the second phase, right? Or P3. And you had said to me, I'm not really hungry. It's really surprising. Adding the fats is just a whole nother level of pleasure you're excited about. And then we said, awesome, let's go another 2 weeks and then we'll meet again before you transition into reality because we need to have a
Hmm.
strategy. You were just
Hmm.
saying what?
Holy crap, have I been hungry? Like it when I met with you 2 weeks ago, I was astonished at how little it took to fill me up. Where I could be the portion sizes were small and I wasn't eating very often. And in the last couple of days, I have noticed that I need to eat a lot. I need to eat a lot more.
Yeah, and if you don't get enough fat in when you eat,
Yes.
like if you're eating still a lot of vegetables and you're not getting enough fat, you're prone to have a very steep hunger curve. So the good thing is that it's not uncommon at this point, whether you have fat or not, because the residual metabolic effect hormonally of the HCG is now obviously getting out of the equation. Wouldn't you agree?
Right.
Can you see why that the second phase or P3 was so important in terms of hormonal stability just by the sense of hunger that you didn't have for quite some time after the HCG?
It's amazing how long the effects of the HCG lasted.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned to you before you started recording, it was just been in the last couple of days I've noticed such a big change in my hunger. So
And it's been a good three
gosh, that's
weeks.
that's almost 3 weeks.
Okay,
I mean, today.
I want to make sure that you're aware and you're aware that how long that takes is reliant on how long you were on the very low calorie protocol as well as how much fat you have. So, we could say you could do another round for sure, right?
Oh yeah, yep.
Just look at your biology, look at your body, how much fat you have. You definitely would be a good candidate for another round. So you still
Yeah.
have inflammatory fat cells that exist. So that's why. So every human body with this protocol is different. That is why it's so important that we don't use a specific way of the phase 2 or P3, and because your body and how many fat cells you have and where that fat is located still and how your body acclimated to the HCG and all of that is so unique to you, your metabolism, your energy levels, where you're at on your menstrual cycle, where the moon is, what season we're in. So all of you people out there and anytime you hear, "Oh yeah, I did this program in P3 or that phase 2. Oh yeah, we do this." The likelihood of success for the majority of people is really slim if they're following a specified program. Now, you could say that what we taught you is specified in terms of eat a lot more fat and make sure you are staying within your body's signals of hunger, but that's really reliant on your body's chemistry, your body's hormonal rhythms, and relative to the lifestyle that you're choosing and what you live in, right? Did what I say
Right.
make sense? So this whole time, the last three
It
weeks,
makes
you're
perfect sense.
still adjusting to your body. You didn't adjust to a program. You adjusted to your body. So essentially with the mind body method, what we've done is we took you through learning to listen to hunger with a variety of foods, right? High stimulus, removing the emotion around bad and good, right? So we kind of changed the belief systems around food, allowed you to observe without bias for almost a month, maybe a little past a month. Really get in touch with what hunger feels like and what it's like to stop eating with highly palatable food, right? Then we said, okay, now we're going to go on this protocol where I want you to continue to do what you did in the practice, but with protocol foods. Now we're going to take the HCG out, allow you to add fats back in. You're going to continue to listen to your body. The same exact thing you did in practice is the same exact thing you did in the first phase of the very low calorie protocol with the HCG is the exact same thing you did with phase 2 or P3. And guess what you're going to do in the real world?
The same thing.
The same thing. But we do want to have a strategy. I want you to think of food as hormonal stimulus, which is kind of how we've done this in the first place. You only eat when you're hungry because hunger is a sign you need a hormonal stimulus. The food is what stimulates those hormones. So it's kind of like if you have a negative hormonal balance, you need a positive hormonal balance to create homeostasis or balance. So fats, as you have learned, are not only do they hold the flavor in your mouth longer, so you're getting a lot more pleasure, which is key, right, to not feeling deprived, but they also slow down the digestive process. Would you agree at this point that fat really did make a big difference?
A huge difference. I felt like I didn't need to eat as much before I was full, and it lasted a long time, and I just felt more satisfied.
Yeah, except for now. Now you're like, this isn't enough. I can't continue to do the kale chips. Not going to work. I'm going to need the mayonnaise, the turkey. You just said, I can feel that I need more substance. Okay.
I'm hungry. I'm going for this salad with the mayo in it. Forget that green stuff. I need the white stuff.
Well, there is some truth to that. However, this is really important. Those starches and grains and pastas and all of the rices, the starchy foods, the breads, the crackers, the rices, all of that stuff is more hormonally powerful. The power is a measure of strength and time. So time is a very important part of the equation of power. Carbohydrates are a powerful food, which means they stimulate strength in a short period of time. Fat, on the other hand, is stimulating, but it takes a lot longer, so it's not as powerful. Okay, so there is a very important benefit to powerful food if there's a need for it. Okay, the downside to power with the human body is that there is a limiting factor, and that limiting factor is your digestion. Okay, so if you powerfully stimulate hormones faster than your organs, like your liver, your pancreas, those two, your thyroid, if you're stimulating leptin faster than those organs can accommodate to that stimulus, you're going to cause damage. We want to keep your hormonal reaction to food, no matter what the combination is, right? Let's say you go to sushi. Let's say you go and get some chili with sour cream and guacamole and Fritos, right? Just a hodgepodge of fats and carbs and proteins and nutrition and whatever. We've got to get you to listen to how your body's responding, okay? And alongside the narcotic pleasure of it. Carbohydrates are more narcotically pleasing to the brain because they provide what the brain needs for food, glucose, okay? So as you're adding carbohydrates, number one, you're adding more pleasure, which is super important, by the way. Don't be afraid of pleasure. The pleasure mongering in the food industry is causing a lot of problems, a lot of shame, a lot of guilt, which ends in what?
For me, it ended in weight gain.
Or hold on. That was not what it ended in. That was like the consequence. It ended in a binge. That's what that does. The binging. Yeah. That's causing the weight gain. It's not the pleasure that causes weight gain. You just skip the most important behavioral part that you're responsible for. Don't skip your responsibility in that.
Oh, no.
You're feeling bad, you failed, you might as well binge. Now you get weight gain, and then you got to diet, which causes okay, we don't need to rehash that cycle, do we? Okay, so those carbohydrates do stimulate pleasure, which is really important, right? However, they are more powerful to your body's hormonal response. So you've got to remember power in terms of leptin. If your leptin release is faster than the insulin and the thyroid response that your metabolism can handle, you're going to tax the liver, you're going to tax the pancreas, so you're going to end up having to create that fuel resourcing byproduct and a compensation. So the thyroid tends to set a little lower to make up for these huge, powerful swings. Does that make sense? So I'm not telling you this to be afraid. All I'm telling you this is like, okay, do you feel pretty confident in your assessment of hunger right now?
I feel really comfortable with it. The edges in the last couple of weeks just continue to get sharper.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm eating more slowly.
Yeah. Here's the awesomeness. Don't you agree? You've done this before. You did this for a month. Before we started the protocol, you could have anything you wanted: sugar, starch, alcohol, cheeses, dairies, grains, fats, saturated fat, cancer-causing fat. You could have anything you wanted without shame and guilt, and you were to use your body system to learn how to navigate quantity and when and how much, right? So then we go through this protocol, and our whole point, right, was to not only continue to get rid of, right, bad habits with food and some of the unconscious habits, but it was to refine this ability to understand your body's response to hunger and food as the solution. So now we're going to do it again. How do you feel about it?
Fine. It's like another day. I mean, bring it on.
I think I'm more excited than you are. Aren't you excited to go back into that?
But it feels like it's the same thing that I've been doing.
I know.
Understand that I'm adding more foods and they're more powerful than the foods I've been eating, but the food is new, but the process and the behaviors, it's not new. So I feel like, I'm excited to get to eat more food, but it's the same. I've already been doing it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yes. And not only that, but it's like now you're going back to what you did for over a month before the protocol, but now you have much more, you're more keen into how the body's responding to food. You're more conscious. You're more present with it, right? Wouldn't you agree? The other thing that's happened is you've lost a significant amount of fat cells, which changes how your body's going to respond to those foods. So you kind of are starting over. Don't use your experience that month before the protocol as your guide to the routine of the body. You got to start over. So it's kind of like practice all over again with a new body that is responding a little different, right?
I don't have routine. Every day has been different. What time during the day I eat and when the first time during the day I eat, it's different every day. So there's not been a routine.
Yeah. And you will notice it does change with this. Well, now the seasons are changing there. So you have more sun exposure. There's different temperatures.
It's snowing today.
You poor thing. Oh, Minnesota Springs. Okay. So here we go. So now it's like, in short, it's like you went through a form of fat chemotherapy. Did I talk to you about that? Now we are going back into reality to see if it worked. How is your body stabilizing? I don't want you weighing yourself. Okay? Just trust your body. We'll weigh you in a few weeks, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thanks for letting me share this.